This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Tonight on The South Today, the former home of the Gold Guitar Awards is set to be demolished to make way for public housing. The ribbon's been cut on the first group of new townhouses being built in the south of Dunedin. And Glenorchy volunteers turned detectives to uncover the man behind the set of historic glass plate photos. Kia ora, good evening, I'm Hannah Wilkins. The former home of the Gore Country Music Club is set to be demolished to make way for much needed new houses in the town. Kainga Ora has brought the Longford Function Centre as a way of helping address the housing need in Gore.
A well-known Gore venue is now set to be demolished. Gore's Longford Function Centre was the home of the Gore Country Music Club and the original venue of New Zealand's popular Gold Guitar Awards. The site is now set to be cleared to make way for a new public housing development. Kainga Ora, formerly known as Housing New Zealand, has bought the property for an undisclosed sum. Otago Southland Regional Director Kerry Young says the land will be used for building new state houses for local residents who can't afford to rent a home privately.
And we're really pleased to be able to support the Gore community with some new beautiful social homes, warm, dry and healthy.
Under the public housing model, the government pays part of the rent for qualified tenants. But Young says the new homes in East Gore will look and feel very different to the state housing areas of old. The goal for the development is to exceed current building code standards for warmth and dryness, making them more affordable for residents to heat. Construction could start as early as the middle of next year once the consenting process and other bureaucratic hurdles have been overcome.
We're planning to build around 20 homes here and we'll be working with the council over the next few months to get the necessary approvals to do that.
The Gore Country Music Club says it's happy the site is going to continue to benefit the local community. Kainga Ora currently has 40 public homes in Gore, and in Invercargill it's got nearly 380, with another 14 already under construction. In Gore, The South Today.
Otago's ski fields are gearing up to make some snow to coincide with the natural stuff, which is forecast to fall in the region later this week. Cadrona Alpine Resort and Treble Cone have both been improving their snowmaking facilities ahead of the winter ski season. Both operations plan to start making snow as soon as temperatures allow them to, building on any natural snow that falls on the mountains. Cadrona is hoping to be open by the 11th of June, with Wanaka's Treble Cone targeting the end of June. Met Service has forecast possible snow down to 600 metres over the coming weekend. The ribbon has been cut on the first group of 47 new townhouses being built in the south of Dunedin. Developers say it's a major step in the modernisation of the city's housing stock, appealing to both investors and downsizers.
Taking the first steps in a brand new townhouse. This 5-unit development in the Dunedin suburb of St Kilda is one of 8 similar projects underway in the city. The compact and modern 2-bedroom units are low maintenance, featuring off-street parking and the added benefit of being fully kitted out with whiteware and appliances.
These have sold straight away and they've been really well received. We're at the stage of renting them out now and they're just renting like hotcakes. They're just warm, sunny, modern, new build properties and professional tenants just love them.
The Ascot Street townhouses were sold before construction even began, some within 3 hours of going on the market. Developers Blue Sky Property Group approached the Dunedin City Council 2 years ago about the need for housing intensification in the city. It has another 13 townhouses under construction in the south of Dunedin, with a dozen more set to start this month.
We've got investors, we've also got downsizers, people wanting a town pad, and we've got people who just want to live in a nice, warm, low maintenance, sunny townhouse.
These kinds of townhouse developments are fairly new to Dunedin, but the style of housing's long been a popular option in other areas.
For all the other city centres, Auckland, Wellington, Christchurch and Queenstown, it's nothing new. It's been here for decades and people do like living in them. So it is something new for Dunedin, but it's been around for a long time.
Fairburn says Dunedin needs almost 600 new homes a year to keep up with population growth, and believes the city needs to get smarter about the way homes are built. In Dunedin, the South Today.
A group of Dunedin bosses were thrown a tall challenge yesterday to abseil from a great height from the top of Forsyth Bar Stadium for a charity fundraiser. Allied Press commercial manager Matthew Holdridge was just one of 50 people who dropped down from the stadium's roof on a very slim rope. Otago University Vice-Chancellor David Murdoch reckoned he wasn't fazed by the 35-metre descent.
Oh, fantastic. Yes, I'd love to do it again.
The goal of the fundraising event was to raise $30,000 for the Malcolm Charitable Trust. The organisation's a not-for-profit agency offering a range of youth development programs in the south. Detective work has been added to the skill set of the Glenorchy History and Museum Group. The volunteers have been uncovering the story behind a set of glass plate photos discovered in a local shed and revealing the man behind the camera.
A lens into the past. The Glenorchy History and Museum Group has been delving into the background of photographer and carpenter Frederick Finch. The committee received a set of glass plate photographs from the Vent family 3 years ago and have been piecing together the local story. Leslie Van Gelder, Museum Group Chair, says uncovering Finch's identity and body of work is an important project.
So we're kind of excited to rehabilitate his story because he just seems like a classic person who was here in those early days, who built a lot of stuff, but you could have forgotten that he was there because he's behind the camera, not in front of it. And yet I kind of think he was core to that early Queenstown period.
The photographs were found in a Paradise Valley shed in the 1930s by Lloyd Vent. Initially, Finch's identity was a mystery, and while each photograph featured Finch's signature, the committee had to do some digging to find out who he really was. He was discovered to be a master carpenter and apparent local good sort. He built the staircase at Eichardt's Hotel, the old Glenorchy Library, and parts of the local hospital. Corrine Davis, Glenorchy photographer and committee member, had the task of recreating some of Finch's photos around Bullendale, and says it wouldn't have been simple for him.
It wasn't an easy effort. He would have had to be very passionate about his photography to go to the places that he did, but we're very grateful he did, because now we've got a record of what it was like back then.
The committee's now trying to secure funding for an outdoor exhibition space in Glenorchy to showcase Finch's work, to be launched later this year. There's also a plan to open a photography darkroom in the future, to provide a view into the world of analogue photography. In Glenorchy, the South Today.
Whai Akane, still to come on the South Today. Dunedin prepares for its first official Matariki celebrations, and it's all hands on deck for the Central Otago olive harvest.
My mate John's gone mad. Mad at beds, that is. Bedlam Bed Sale. 1/3 off beds and bedroom. Only at John's Furniture Warehouse, Stafford Street.
And my mate John.
Hi, we're Age Concern Otago.
Age Concern Otago hosts a multitude of social activities, including little walks.
Come on, mate. The blue doesn't go with the brown.
Every day the team at Gillian supports grieving families at their time of need, from answering your questions to organising a farewell that reflects the wishes of your loved one. We can help. Call Gillian's today.
Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Livingwell Disability Resource Centre, a not-for-profit charitable organisation and your one-stop shop for information and resources to help you retain independence. We offer a wide range of assistive products from jar openers to mobility scooters and provide assessments for Total Mobility, the half-price taxi scheme. Come and see the friendly team. You'll find us on the corner of George and Bath Streets, ground floor of Burns House.
Spark your joy with Jazz, the next generation from Honda.
A poorly maintained heat pump can lose up to 35% of its output. The Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner team are experts. Their specially developed chemical wash is totally biodegradable. Call Mr. Heat Pump Cleaner and get the job done by the professionals.
Tēnā, welcome back. Dunedin is set to celebrate the first official Matariki public holiday with a multi-day light show. A special water and light show is to take place at the Otago Harbour waterfront over 3 days at the end of June. The free event is funded by the Dunedin City Council. It'll bring together the work of Māori and Pacifica artists through images, short films and dance, which will all be projected onto a water screen. This will create the illusion of the images appearing out of thin air. A night food market's also planned alongside the festivities. In a world dominated by digital online gaming, one old-school aspect of it all is experiencing a resurgence. Along with thousands of new card gamers, parents have also embraced trading card games as a new way of teaching their children math skills and decision-making.
Cards instead of keystrokes rule as gamers look to more virtual social gaming environments. In a world inundated with video games, there's one non-digital segment of the gaming market that's continuing to grow. The world of trading card games has seen a renewed spike in popularity recently, with many people, both young and old, embracing it during COVID-19 lockdowns.
So when COVID happened, the game was in its very infancy, and then basically the lockdown happened, and it just, people caught the attention of people in America, and it's just gone on a psycho upward trend since then.
Trading cards have been around for over 150 years. They were originally produced as baseball cards or promoting other sports and movies. But since the 90s, fantasy games like Magic, Dungeons and Dragons and Pokemon have made inroads into the gaming world. And one of the latest is a Kiwi game. The title Flesh and Blood is played by hundreds of thousands of people around the world.
This is Flesh and Blood, so it's a New Zealand-made trading card game. They've just had the first pro tour for it in New Jersey this weekend. They had over 1,100 players pre-registered for the main event and side events, and they were playing for a total of 100,000 US.
Smith says the added benefit of playing card games is the ability to trade cards. If collectors manage to find a rare or very desirable one, it can be worth upwards of $30,000, depending on demand. And it seems that sales are booming.
Just blowing up immensely as well, like a card that I started selling for $350 at the height of its price. I sold it for $35,000 last year.
He admits it's always a bit of a lottery as to what card you'll get when you purchase a new packet, but reckons that just adds to the mystery of trading cards. In Christchurch, the South Today.
Western school pupils found themselves tackling more obstacles than normal this week when the Blue Light program visited the North Otago school. This giant 33-metre long inflatable obstacle course is touring schools across the country, although Western was the only school in North Otago chosen to take part. The program is aimed at building positive interactions between youth and police. Pupils from Year 1 through to Year 8 got to take part in battling their way through the course. Several of the visiting adult police officers also decided to give it a go. The Central Otago olive harvest is in full swing, with both humans and machines picking the fruit to be pressed and blended into oil. Families were invited to learn about the industry and pick some olives for themselves near Cromwell on Sunday.
Families got to pick some olives for themselves at a community open day run by Central Otago olive growers on Sunday. Sandy Black of Dunford Grove says after trying to pick them by hand for the first year, he now harvests his 888 trees by machine, picking them as they change colour.
So we're looking for a mix of colour, so we want about a third black, a third green and a third changing colour. Now the longer you leave the fruit on the tree, the higher the oil content. The blacker they are, the more oil, but you start losing flavour. So we want the green for the taste and the black for the oil content.
Olive presser Stephen Morris says the Central Otago industry is small compared to up north.
We're still cottage, we're not even boutique probably. Like we're hoping to do 50 tonne through the press this year, which is 5,000 litres of oil, which is not a lot. Like guys will up north, they got presses running at 2 tonne an hour, we're running at 400 kgs.
2018's harvest was a good year due to high sunshine hours, and a jury is still out on how 2022's crop will be.
We've only harvested one varietal so far. It's pretty bitter. We harvest by varietal and then blend for taste. So we're another 3 weeks away before we'll finish harvest.
About 80 people attended the Olive Open Day. In Alexandra, the South Today.
Wanaka artists and art lovers have joined together to create a pop-up exhibition in support of war-torn Ukraine. Called Aid Through Art, the exhibition at the Wanaka Community Centre is raising funds for those affected by the war in Ukraine. More than 40 artists from Wanaka, Queenstown and Christchurch have contributed pieces to the show. The exhibition opened with a fundraising event last Friday, but a range of pieces are still available for purchase. Print works from the exhibition can also be ordered online. E whai Yakane, after the break on the South Today, a musical version of the School of Rock is brought to life by a Queenstown drama teacher. And with a cold blast on the way, we'll check the weather outlook.
Drop when you
MTF Finance can help you turn the key on your next vehicle with a loan made just for you. TCs and lending criteria apply.
My mate John's gone mad. Mad at beds, that is, and there's definitely some method to his madness. Bedlam Bed Sale. This weekend only, John's taken an utterly insane 1/3 off all beds and bedroom. That's 33% off Dunedin's lowest priced beds and bedroom furniture. Bedlam Bed Sale. 1/3 off beds and bedroom. Only at John's Furniture Warehouse, Stafford Street.
that furniture from Stafford Street. And my mate John. Every reason, every season, we're proud to dress the region. Alex Campbell Menswear, it fits.
Hi, my name's Matt and I'm the Dines Group CEO. Dines is a company that's focused on selling logistics solutions to its customers. We're passionate about selling efficiency and we've been selling efficiency for over 50 years now.
Tēnā koe, welcome back. A Queenstown drama teacher is getting ready to hit the stage in a performance where art mirrors real life. Jack Hansen is tackling a character originally made famous by actor Jack Black in the musical version of the movie School of Rock.
Popular West End musical School of Rock is coming to Queenstown with a young local cast. The show's based off a hit film starring Jack Black, and for Wakatipu High performing arts teacher Jake Hansen, it's long been his dream to play the lead role. When local theatre company Showbiz Queenstown announced they were staging the show, Hansen knew this could be his chance to shine, in a role partly echoing his real-world career. The School of Rock musical features songs by Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber. It tells the story of a failed musician turned substitute teacher, Dewey Finn, who turns a class of A-grade pupils at a prestigious prep school into a tight rock band.
Auditions came around, was lucky enough to get the role, which is cool, and just haven't looked back. 3 months of grueling putting. No, it's been great. It's been awesome.
Really cool, really, honestly. It's incredible. It's really fun as well.
Yeah. It's been an amazing experience.
There's a 29-strong cast in the show, including 13 children who have the extra challenge of playing instruments on stage. There's also more than 50 crew members working behind the scenes, as the company prepare to bring the story to life over 9 shows this month. Rehearsals began back in February, although COVID has made everything a bit more challenging. For director Lisa Clough, it's her 3rd time working with Showbiz Queenstown, after directing their 40th anniversary show, Annie, in 2015. She's confident the stage is set for a rocking performance, which audiences will enjoy.
They can expect to leave with their toes tapping, a great night, a concert experience, lots of laughs. Yeah, don't miss out. It's really, really fun.
School of Rock is set to be performed at the Queenstown Memorial Centre from the 19th through to the 28th of May. In Queenstown, the South Today.
And now recapping tonight's top stories on the South Today. A former home of the Gold Guitar Awards is set to be demolished. Kaingaoras bought the site for public housing. The ribbon's been cut on the first group of 47 modern townhouses being built in the south of Dunedin, targeted at professionals and downsizers in the city. And volunteers in Glenorchy have been putting in some detective work to uncover the identity of a mystery man behind a set of historic glass plate photos. And now a look at what's happening in tomorrow's ODT, and we welcome the editor, Barry Stewart. Kia ora, good evening, Barry.
Hello, Hannah. Departing Otago Regional Council Chief Executive Sarah Gardner held her last meeting today, and at that meeting it ended with the organisation's latest woes being pinned firmly on councillors. So much of the meeting was held behind closed doors, but there's a taste of what was happening there.
Okay.
Dunedin Airport is also upset and says it was never consulted on the unacceptable hazard posed by a new landfill before consent was lodged. So its lawyer says. So we have more on that.
Okay.
And of course the ODT invited readers to name the pole driving hammer that will soon begin work on the Dunedin Hospital, new
That's
Dunedin
right.
Hospital site.
Yeah.
Well, what's it going to be called? You'll have
Big question.
You'll have to read tomorrow's
You've got an
ODT
answer
to
for
find
us.
out. We have the result of the poll, so there you go. I know the name, but I'm sworn to secrecy.
Okay. For one more day.
For one more day, yeah. Get it tomorrow morning, you'll find out. So Frankton residents are up in arms when the QLDC have decided to take out residential streets for parking clampdown. So they're concerned about the freeloaders who are parking for the airport in residential streets. So they've imposed a limit on that, but there's no provision for residents and their parking. So
Okay, well we'll read more about that and all the rest of your stories in the paper. Thank you for this evening, Barry.
Thanks, Anna.
And now for a look at the weather.
Tonight's weather proudly brought to you by Mole Map.
Looking at the situation, a long spell of cold, showery weather is on the way, with snow flurries to low levels inland over the weekend and hail at times near the coast. Heading to the top of the South Island first, Nelson looks showery with northerlies and 17 degrees tomorrow. Thunderstorms and hail heads to Greymouth with heavy showers and a high of 16. And down to Christchurch, expect cloud, light rain and changing northerlies with 19 degrees. To our southern towns now, showery with strong westerlies through here for Balclutha, the Catlins, Lumsden and Gore, all heading for a high of 14 degrees. Travelling westwards to the Central Lakes area, Wanaka and Queenstown will all be showery with gusty nor'westerlies and 15 degrees, while Alexandra is slightly warmer with 16, and the showers over in Te Anau will be heavier and come with a cooler high of 14. To the northern towns next, 19 degrees on the way tomorrow for Timaru and Awamuru, along with nor'westerlies and high cloud. Jumping over to Twizel and Omarama, more nor'westerly breezes, a few showers and a high of 16. Down to Dunedin, high cloud and nor'westerlies as it drops to 13 degrees overnight. Tomorrow, mostly fine day, reaching 17 as the high, before dropping down to 7 as the low. And wrap up on Friday, it's going to be a cold one. Strong gusty sou'westerlies and showers with some sleet and hail. Expect a high of 9 in the city, dropping down to 4 as the low. And now to Invercargill. Showers and nor'westerlies tonight, dropping down to 10. Tomorrow there'll be strong westerlies near gale force in exposed places with late hail, reaching 13 before dropping down to 4. Friday brings more hail and sleety showers with cold sou'westerlies up to just 7 degrees and down to 3 as the low. That's the news this Wednesday. For the latest news and videos from the southern region, head online to odt.co.nz and you can follow Channel 39 on YouTube to catch our news bulletins on demand. Nō reira, kia pai te pō, ka kite anō.
This bulletin proudly brought to you in association with Alex Campbell's Menswear.
Public interest journalism funded through New Zealand On Air.